Are you a lifelong fan of General Hospital?
Are you a new fan who wants to know more about the history of the show?
Do you enjoy talking about the show with others?
Do you find yourself yelling at the TV?
Is your self-care an hour a day in Port Charles?
If so, we invite you to join hosts
Amanda Kimmel
and Shannon Coach at the place where all the hidden conversations take place and secrets are revealed.
Meet us at Pier 54,
the podcast. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to the June 9th, 10th
10th
through 15th, after we just clarified what the dates were. The June 10th through the 15th weekly recap.
10th through the 14th.
10th through the 14th.
Oh my gosh. Today's Father's Day.
It's Father's Day
the
today.
16th.
Yes.
So yeah, 14th. 10th through the 14th.
Okay.
There you go.
It's been a long weekend.
It has.
So
It has.
it's just, but we'll talk more about that later. So, but happy belated Father's Day to any of our listeners that are dads. It was funny because today I created that Happy Father's Day and I went through and got pictures of all the dads that we talked about on, not all of them, because I mean, there's been a lot of guys in 56 years.
Yeah.
But the major ones. My first round, I forgot Valentine, who's one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to go back through and correct it. And I intentionally left out Brad.
There you go.
Because
good job. Because I would have commented on that and been like, nope, I disagree with this post.
Yep.
Because he's just not a good dad.
He's
Not a good dad.
well-
And he proved it even more this week. Is that where we're going to jump in?
So go.
First of all, I've said it about 6 times, I think, already. Why do these people keep talking about who Wiley's dad is out in public? That's not just to brag.
I
That's
loved Carly
everyone.
calling them out on that, though.
Yes.
Carly's like, how many people know? What did she
Yes.
say? 3 people can keep a secret if 2 people are dead.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
she's right.
Exactly. They talked about it at Julian's bar. They talked about it at the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
They talked about it at Carly's restaurant, like the hotel restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
They talked about it in Sonny's house.
All over the place.
And they don't even say the baby or whatever. They say
Mhm.
Wiley. Like, what are you doing?
They don't say what Willow's son,
Right.
or Willow's child.
Right.
Right. It's
Yeah.
straight up Wiley.
Wiley.
Yeah.
So if anyone from this week especially, we're supposed to learn that there's all kinds of Donna Day followers all over the place.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you pay attention to make sure you're not saying the name out in public like that? It's
right.
ridiculous.
I don't think they realize that there's more followers than what they have even seen at the house.
Maybe not, but they talked about it starting in
Beecher's Corner.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So they should be aware of that. And no matter what, like Carly said, if you're trying to keep a secret, keep your mouth shut.
Don't
like,
keep telling everybody.
what are you doing? So that's just a general yelling at everyone, not just Brad. But
No, but everybody just needs to.
yeah, zip the lip, right? Exactly. So
That's what Amanda's favorite.
it is my favorite phrase. It's usually directed at Shannon, but today we'll do it.
That
for all
was
of
edited
them.
out of a previous episode because it was really funny.
It was really funny.
But the whole conversation
was
around
too
it was just
long.
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a. We will save that one for behind the scenes.
Yes. Someday we'll do a
snippet
clip,
show or
and then you'll love it.
I'll have to start saving them.
There you go.
I mean, I have all the unedited,
Right.
but I mean, that's
The
going to
really
be a lot
good
of stuff
stuff.
for me to go through.
Mm-hmm.
But still, I did like that Lucas told Carly that not all arrests lead to conviction. Like, she didn't know that.
Right.
And I think he was kind of
Oh.
like reminding her, like, hi, your
Yeah.
husband, you
Mm-hmm.
are out.
Jason all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's really funny that he felt the need to mention it. But
I love that Chase thanked Jason for not disappearing Shiloh.
yes.
I was like, you know what? I was like, he's a good guy. He's a good cop. He is going to stay a good cop.
Right. But he
doesn't want to
realizes-
have to. He said, I didn't want to have to arrest you.
Yeah. But I found that kind of humorous because Jason kind of made a face, I thought,
Yeah.
that was like, yeah, like you could really get enough evidence on me to
Right.
actually arrest me.
Right.
Like, I'm glad you think you're that good of a cop, but you're probably not.
Yeah.
So that was funny. Joss with Maxie. And why
Yeah.
have they not put them together beforehand? Like,
I
they're
don't know.
obviously going through or have gone through the same type of loss.
Yeah.
Not saying that high school love is the same as a husband, but you know what I mean.
Right. I mean,
At
there
that
was,
moment in time, it is.
and it's the loss of a loved one. And although Nathan was, as a detective, as a former police wife,
Yep.
you know the life,
Yeah.
you know, and Joss at least did know Oscar was going to. So I
Right.
feel like there was even a preparation
Yes.
beforehand, but then actually when it happens, you're like,
Right.
I didn't think that was actually going to happen. You know,
she
there's
seems
stuff
like
that,
she's trying to deal with it well, but obviously having her talk to someone who's been through something similar makes sense.
I didn't like that her
was nice.
rush to help was go talk to the dead. And I give Lucy a lot of respect for telling her no.
Yes.
And she was like, no, you're not doing it. And I was like, thank you.
And don't go anywhere else. She was like, you're just going to spend a bunch of money trying to talk to this boy. And if he's not making himself present for you to talk to, that means he wants you to just move on with life for now. Exactly. And that was awesome. Yeah. Lucy can be decent.
Sometimes.
She's not always scandalous. I think it's funny that now that she's in this whole real estate thing that like everyone needs to buy and sell houses. Like Michael had to buy the Donna Day house.
I loved that. That was, except for in the state of Pennsylvania, at least, that wouldn't matter. It would not null and void Shiloh's lease. The new landlord or the new owner of the building has to honor any outstanding leases. Mm-hmm. He could choose not to renew,
right?
But he can't just kick them out. So again, we need to fact check. Of course, this is Pennsylvania law. I don't know about New York. We will have to look into New York state law.
Yeah,
New York state real estate law.
Yeah.
Ooh, perhaps I should become licensed there too.
There you go.
I can get licensed all over the place.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, but I did think that was awesome. That was kind of like a total.
That was, because I was confused at first since Dawson was just talking about selling her house and meeting with Lucy. And then he sent that text and I was like, why would he be buying Dawson's house? And then it all kind of clicked that he's not buying Dawson's house. He's buying Donna Day.
Yeah, it didn't occur to me that Dawson's house was the Donna Day house.
It's not.
That's what I thought you were just saying.
No, when he originally sent that text.
Oh, okay.
That's what I thought he was trying to buy was
Wouldn't
Dawson's
that be something,
house.
though?
That would have been really funny. But no. Dawson's house is Dawson's house.
Yeah. And that is kind of out of character, but more in line with both Sonny and AJ. That he just went in and bought it.
Yeah. And he was
something that's not for sale. He's like, I want it. I could have bought
the whole block, but I decided that might be overkill. I was like, yes, good job.
Speaking of overkill.
Go ahead.
Harmony is why Botox is a bad idea.
Harmony. I've never been in a cult, so I don't know. But she's not a young woman. And she's seen Shiloh's work before with like Daisy and all that stuff. Did she really think that he was going to bail her out after she took the fall for him?
Right. I don't know, but she's different because she was the first woman, wasn't she? She was the first woman in the trust. She's the one. Yeah. She's like his right-hand man.
But not because he just wanted your daughter.
Yeah.
So
I definitely thought for a period of time that he didn't know that the girls were drugged until the very end because the way that he was reacting, I mean, he did a good job. Faking it. He had me until he was done.
Yeah.
And then he had that look on his face because I was like, maybe he really didn't know. But then I remembered he's the one who made Sam's tea. So
Right.
Who do you think is going to kill Shiloh? Are we done with Shiloh? Are you done with your leading up to that?
Who's going to kill Shiloh?
Uh-huh. Who do you think it's going to be?
From the way that Friday was ending and Willow was so like, I'm going to protect my baby, I think it might be Willow.
I think Willow's gonna kill Shiloh.
Is that what you put down?
Yep.
There you go.
Because someone asked on Twitter and they're like, is it gonna be Lucas, Jason, Sonny, or I forget who else? And I was like, it's gonna be Willow. And then someone else said it's gonna be Harmony.
Maybe
so. Could it be Harmony?
It could be
for
Harmony.
Her daughter.
Yeah, like I feel like that would have to be a whole. She'd get out of jail and then he'd come after.
Yeah.
Willow, and that would make sense.
Do you think that Nell is part of Dawn of Day? Because she looked like she... Oh, first of all, Nell's back.
Yes, Nell's back.
The way that she looked at her looked very, I know who you are. Or like, we know each other. I don't know. Maybe that was just me.
See, I didn't get that vibe. But maybe I thought it was more of reflecting back on Willow saying to her, you don't want to go to jail. You could be with psycho crazy people, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then that guy was like, no, your roommate's here. And they were introduced. I thought it was more of like a dun dun dun. Here's your psycho crazy roommate.
Well, and Nell's been in the news too, probably.
Right.
So she might know who she is through that.
Yes.
That's true. That is true.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
So is Nell going to lead you to the big, exciting Amanda was right?
Of what?
Of Ryan.
Oh, yeah. First of all, I didn't dispute it.
Okay, you had no idea what I was talking about last week,
because here's the problem. I should not be cleaning while I'm watching General Hospital.
Right, you need to stop cleaning, Shannon.
While I'm watching General Hospital. I didn't know what the heck you were talking about because I obviously missed something. But then we went back and watched it as soon as I saw yours. So I was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a little disappointed in Finn if Jordan's assumptions are correct.
Right, right.
But at the same time, not.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It needed to happen.
He didn't kill him.
Right, right. He could have.
Yeah. He just caused him to seize.
Exactly.
Under a doctor's care.
Right. So it wasn't that bad.
No.
And it was necessary.
Yeah.
But I liked that Ryan and
Valerie was in on it.
Yeah. But
she's in trouble. If that ever gets found out.
No,
Sorry.
No, I think that Jordan knows that she has to keep that quiet.
Yeah.
So many people would get in trouble. Like she said, there had to be a mastermind behind it. She knew who that mastermind would be.
And he's good enough to cover everything up.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So you're not going to keep digging to try to put your husband in jail. Yep. So.
Why does Ryan's door not have a lock on it? Like, it doesn't even shut. He has those swinging doors.
Oh, yeah. Maybe there's like a lock further out.
Still.
I mean, maybe they just figured he was too... Actually, I mean, if you can cut off your own hand and keep going, I would want you under a lock and key for sure. But maybe they're assuming he's in too much pain. So he's not going to move. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. I just thought it was funny that him and Nell were like, oh, yeah, they stole my kidney too, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, they didn't steal your kidney. Your dad sold it, okay?
Right. But she did have it stolen from her. It was not her choice.
But she made it sound like it was Carly and them. Carly did not steal your kidney. She still has
it in her head, though. Like, she does not believe that Jax did it.
Right.
You know, she thinks
Which is why she's crazy, but still, it annoyed me because I was like, girlfriend, you know that's not what happened.
Yep.
So.
I did think it was funny when, first of all, let's go back to Jordan.
Okay.
The whole medical bills thing.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to wait and see if you're going to say what I was going to say. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, I want to know who the Port Charles Players are because he said that instead of seeing a show on Broadway, they could see the Port Charles Players. If it's a musical theater group in Port Charles, Spinelli could be heading that thing up.
Right?
So, yeah, that'd be awesome. Secondly, that's where liability insurance comes in from auto insurance on Drew's part.
And Drew offered to pay it at the very end.
And he's kind of loaded.
Right.
Especially where Jax just bought 50% of...
Exactly. I like that they're trying to portray real life. Like, most people struggle with the difference between what your insurance covers and what the actual procedure cost or whatever. So good job trying to mirror real life.
But have it mirror real life.
Yeah, in this case, you're not, I mean, maybe having to fight with the insurance company, like the car insurance company or whatever, something like that would be realistic. I'm sure they don't just like cut checks for no reason. Yeah. But to just be like, oh, we're going to have to mortgage our house again. And that's the answer.
I mean, and what bodily injury coverage would you like? Oh, what's bodily injury?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Just make sure that you do not just carry state minimums because that's a lie. It turns out it costs at least $11,000 to turn on Lifelight. So if you get the bare minimum at like $1,530, you are SOL if someone needs Lifelighted because you should always carry like good coverage.
Shannon's our insurance
higher than I've been licensed in it. I've worked in the financial and insurance industry. And now I'm in real estate. So I can solve all your problems.
Yeah.
No, I can't solve all your problems.
That's Coach Shannon.
Maybe one day.
Yeah, no, there was just too many. And again, I know you wouldn't want to take money from Drew. Obviously, it was an accident. He didn't mean to hit you.
Right.
But if it was between that, when he obviously has tons of money, and getting a second mortgage on your house, I think you're going to pick with, at least, hey, buddy, can you cover half the expenses? Like, he offered. It's not even like, this is just some stranger that you have to ask for it or whatever. So, I don't like the way they did it.
No.
And it also brings me back to, didn't they say, that she couldn't get dialysis at GH because of her insurance? So, why would you go to GH for your transplant? You would have gone to Mercy and had it covered by insurance as a preferred provider.
Yeah, because she was stable-ish.
Yeah, you wouldn't have stayed there.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Absolutely not.
That's a really good point.
Especially if you were concerned about the money.
Well, and I'm sure that there's grants, and stuff like that. I'm sure that there are things that she can...
Was she on the job when she was hit? I don't remember.
I don't know. I don't know if that would fall under workers' comp.
I feel like even if it wasn't workers' comp, that there would still be some kind of extra... Like, law enforcement has a lot of extra policies to protect you from injury and all that.
Right.
So,
well, isn't she always on the job if she's a commissioner?
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know
really,
how that works.
I
Yes,
actually mean that, like,
but I don't know.
because I believe she was
I've
in the
never been with
hospital
a commissioner.
but I believe that she was in the hospital for police business. I believe that she was at least finishing.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's when she was going to find Ryan.
Okay.
Wasn't it?
Maybe. I can't remember.
No.
I can see her standing there and him hitting her, but I can't remember what the purpose of where she was and why.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like there'd be a second policy fundraiser, GoFundMe, like something.
Yeah.
If your police commissioner got hit and now needed.
I feel like a more realistic, I don't even know, would be Liz with the boys.
Right.
You know, or like what I go through with needing to get, stuff with my daughter. You know, it's a million phone calls. It's spending hours on the phone. It's getting things denied, but then you have to get something else denied before they'll even approve it. It's a hot mess.
It
is dumb because it's something that you just need.
Right. I mean, you chose what county to live in based off of those services.
Yep, I sure did.
Ridiculous the whole system is.
And it still took 2 years to get services in place after we moved to the good county.
Wow.
It's gotten better. It has gotten better, though.
That's awful. They could have done it. Again, Liz was a single mom, and although nurses make good money, they don't make that good of money to support three boys.
She probably has good health coverage.
She probably does have good health coverage.
That's why I'm saying, like, we shouldn't pick someone in the medical field because they probably have pretty good coverage through their work.
Spinelli.
Sure. Spinelli, yes.
And Jason. I'm sure they don't have health coverage.
Yeah, Jason probably does not. He's a high risk.
I mean, Jason obviously has money, but Spinelli didn't in the beginning.
Yeah.
Or even Sam, if they weren't married.
Yeah. Huh.
Like PIs wouldn't
People are either self-employed or employed by the hospital. Or married to someone that's employed by the hospital.
It feels like living in
What kind of coverage does Crimson have? Okay, no, because the police department would have helped with her funeral coverage, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is James covered still? Does it continue after the officer?
Probably not. There's probably some other extra something in there. How unhappy are you that Maxie is planning a birthday party for Peter, but has not had a birthday party for James yet?
Mm-hmm. You know?
No, I did. I started laughing as soon as she pulled up her calendar. I was like, oh, Shannon's going to be so mad. Birthday party, not for James.
But speaking of Peter, I love that he is not giving up on correcting her about PTSD.
Yes. Yes.
And why is she, I cannot believe, given her family, that she is even holding on to this so much.
I would like to see her whine about it once in front of Mac and him like go off and be like, what are you talking about?
Right.
That's insane. No, he cannot come back until he's finished getting help. And you don't need to know where he's at because it doesn't really matter. He's just getting the help that he needs.
Right.
I don't know why they're making it sound like he will be gone forever, though.
Well, he doesn't have a contract currently with the company, so we don't know when Dante's coming back.
But as a normal person who goes away for mental health help, they're not just gone forever. They're going to come back, or at least come and close out their affairs. Maybe he will come back and say, I don't want to be married. I don't want any kids. I'm done. But you, finish all that out and then
I can't
move away.
I'm saying that either. So while we're on Lulu...
Okay.
She used her real name.
Oh my God, yes.
And does not realize that she's Googleable.
Googleable. Yeah. I like that word. And that boy, that man that she met who works at the college, so we've seen activity around the college and whatever, had no idea who she was, even though she's married to a police officer and all that kind of stuff.
Well, I didn't know who you were, and you were married to a police officer until we were in Girl Scouts.
Okay, and
I know you like to think that I know who he is because he's on the news sometimes, but no.
Okay, and also, there's not only 3 people in our police department.
Correct.
So, I feel like that would account for it.
Well, and she was on the news
with the Ryan
with the
stuff, because she's also
interviewing Franco. Yeah. So, I mean, she's
right. How do you not know who she is?
And she's the mayor's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of things that. And first of all, if you're dating someone that you meet online, do a Google search.
I didn't do a Google.
Are you serious?
I didn't do a Google search. I'm sorry.
This day and age, Google them.
Did not Google search.
You should.
Okay, I'll do
or
that.
At least social media stalk them.
I didn't do any of that. But okay.
So if Amanda ever goes missing on one of these dates, I'm just gonna sit here by myself and talk.
One of my kids will fill in. They all know what they're doing.
I was gonna say Megan's having fun on her Twitter.
She is. She's all over that. So there you go.
Do you think that Willow's dad really died?
No, we said Willow's dad is the.
Well, we say that, but this week she said that he died.
No. I mean, maybe that's what Melody told her.
But I don't know but it sounds like Willow knew her dad. So I don't know.
But knew him like when she was 3?
Right. That's what I'm not sure.
Yeah, I know. I think that she knew him, like she has a couple memories of them playing at the park together or something.
But don't you think she'd be able to recognize, like, hey, you're my dad?
If you hadn't seen him since the time you were 3 and you're like 20-some now? No, I don't think so.
I did think it was funny when Alexis and Neil were talking about how all of her alleged crimes or something like that, and he was like, the guy threw himself into your knife and jumped off the balcony. I was like, you fit right in here, dude.
That's exactly what happened.
I was right on something.
I know what you were right on. Go ahead.
Kim's pregnant.
Yes.
It's just not Drew's.
Right.
But Kim's pregnant. Yeah. How did I know she was going to come? I mean, I thought she was going to come back pregnant from...
Right. Well, we thought it was going to be Drew's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to be really hard.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I wanted it to be Drew's because the conversation that we're pulling this from was Wednesday when she was hallucinating and talking.
Yeah.
And said something about having another baby, blah, blah, blah. And it just seems like that's all going to fit, that she's pregnant.
She held her stomach.
Did she?
And, yep. And she said something else. But right after he walked out the room, she put her hand on her stomach.
Okay.
And repeated something that she had just said.
Okay. See, I missed the holding her stomach. I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, yeah. She's pregnant.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree that she's pregnant just because all of a sudden she was so sick, which went in line with your altitude sickness, though, which was funny. But I totally thought it was pregnancy, not just that. But he was cute with her. Like, he called her honey and blah, blah, blah.
That was a good Drew moment.
Like, I wanted them to end up hooking up. Not with her, obviously not aware of what's going on, but, like, show them a few more days from now after he's taken care of her and them to hook up. And then if she has to be pregnant.
Yeah, that was a really good Drew moment.
Julian is going to have so many babies.
He's the next Sonny.
Oh, no.
Liz is the female Sonny, and Julian is Sonny in training. But wait, Jason only has Danny and Jake.
Right. That's not that bad. We can't comment on that.
It's not bad or anything. It's just what it is, that Sonny has a lot of babies. And the last thing that I had was Nina talking about the phoenix rising from the ashes with Ava and everything. And seriously, Jax.
Yeah.
Like, shut up.
Right. He is too good of a businessman to have not thought that all through ahead of time, why he needed to be like, no, we're not doing this, blah, 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 blah. And then I respect him for going to talk to Carly to make sure that she's okay with it. But that should have been a sidebar conversation no matter what. Hey, this is what we're doing. This is why we're doing it.
Carly did a good job faking that she didn't know, though.
Yeah. It was an eventful week.
It was. There was a lot of turning points. And I feel like we're actually leading up to something.
Right?
I feel like this is the second Friday in a row that we have had a proper... I can't wait for Monday.
Yes. Yep. Proper ending.
Mm-hmm. Willow talking to Diane about her files and everything. What do you think Diane's going to do?
I think someone's going to have to break in and take it or do something. She's not going to.
Yeah.
She's just not.
She's not.
Like...
I agree. Yeah.
Diane has always represented Sonny and his people, like, to the best of her ability, but she's never broken the law for them. Like, she's still on the straight and narrow.
Yeah.
I do want to know, Willow, school teacher, not much money, young, starting out, blah, blah, blah.
How she can afford Diane?
Yes!
Mm-hmm. I was thinking the same thing.
There are really only 3 attorneys, and what is their price point? Because I feel like we hear Diane is one of the best.
And she's a criminal attorney. There are specific... adoption attorneys.
Yes, there is.
She's not a family lawyer.
Right. It made sense that Alexis was helping
Brad and Lucas because that's family.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
legally she can. Absolutely. But why is Diane help? But you know what? They do have to do so much pro bono in a year in Pennsylvania.
Maybe that's where that would be the explanation.
But you would think that they would stick to... Although maybe she would just pick the easy way out. That's not something that's going to get her tied up that much.
Right. Little did she know.
Right. Not saying that the adoption process is a mess. I mean, it really is.
Oh,
but
right.
If you're at that point.
Right.
You know, she's representing the parent giving away.
Right.
So maybe.
No, it's pretty clear cut. As long as you understand the documents you sign and then you're done. There's not a bunch of back and forth unless you lied somewhere on them and then you end up in the situation that Willow's in. I was going to say back to Brad, which is what started all of this. Him visiting Nell. What are you doing? How is she going to help? I need your help. How is she going to help?
Keeping her mouth shut.
But if they end up doing a DNA test, when Shiloh says, I want my baby, someone's going to have to say, oh, but that's not actually your baby. And then the next logical question is, whose baby is it?
Right, yeah.
There's not...
I think that Brad maybe knows the type of person that she is. She's
crazy.
Very self-serving.
Yeah.
And self-preserving. So she's going to do whatever it takes.
She will do whatever it takes, but...
Even before DNA, though. Like, so if she was ever...
You think she's going to kill Shiloh? I don't think so.
No, but I think that she would... I think she's a loose cannon, and Brad knows it, and so he just wants to make sure that she's not going to
But
say
I think at this point, he just made it worse for himself because she was all concerned with his Michael moved on. So it's going to take nothing for her, if she ever did get out of prison, to turn around and be like, hey, Michael, I have your baby. And think that that's going to put them back together, not rip them apart.
Yeah, that's
especially
very
if
true.
Someone else is trying to take her baby as their own.
Yep.
If they didn't run a DNA test, which they have to.
Maybe that's what he knows.
Maybe
that's why he went to her and was like, don't do this.
But she just totally confirmed that she would, because she was more concerned with, is Michael moved on? Has Michael moved on?
Yeah.
So it was a wasted trip. And he should have known that ahead of time. Mm-hmm. You weren't going to get anything, even if she said exactly what he wanted her to say.
Right.
In 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, that doesn't mean he's she's following it. So that was just dumb. There's no point to that. Yeah. I liked her with Ryan, like in their comparison.
That was funny.
That was funny.
Yeah.
And I'm interested to see where her and Melody go. But her with
Harmony
Brad was just, I'm sorry. We're making up names.
But Melody and Harmony are both musicals. So
yeah, so I was close. You knew what I meant. But yeah, her with Brad going to see her was just dumb.
Yeah, I would agree.
And it's, again, another person, not that she didn't know that obviously they had her baby, but it's another person that you're letting in on the drama that we're trying to keep under wraps.
So now we're going to start a new segment. And typically, over the past few weeks, we've talked about our personal stuff at the beginning of the week. And it dawned on me at some point this week that a lot of people think that people who watch soap operas are disconnected and need a reality check. So we are going to share our reality check of this week, which is basically just a recap or whatever that you want to talk about. So what was your reality check this week?
It was a good reality. Like, the reality sounds bad. That's a negative word.
Reality is a bad word?
Reality is a negative word in my life anyway.
All right, so now we understand why Amanda watches General Hospital.
Exactly. Do not like reality. But my fun stuff this week was Madeline and I at camp. She's finally old enough for Girl Scout camp. Yeah. And it was just her and I. The big girls are at their dad's for the weekend for Father's Day. So it was just her and I, and we went horseback riding, or she went horseback riding, and we did crafts, and ate all the gross camp food, and had... No, you liked the camp food?
I liked the breakfast.
You liked the breakfast? Okay.
What was the breakfast?
Pancakes and sausage, and the other one was... What was the other one?
Eggs and bacon.
Yeah, you can never go wrong with breakfast, actually.
Do you want to tell Miss Shannon your reality moment of what I did to you at dinner last night?
She spilled spaghetti on me.
Why would you spill spaghetti on her?
So we were in line, and it was like cafeteria style, so they give us each a thing of spaghetti. Mine had sauce, hers didn't, and some green beans. And then right next to it was paper plates with a piece of cake on it, and then next to that was strawberry sauce that you could like drizzle on it.
Okay.
And so either way, I was just picturing her dropping something, like, because you had to get around all these people to your table and whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So I just decided, I'll do it myself. I can handle this, right? So I stacked her plate on top of mine, which is like a finger in between it, and was handing her the cake so she could do the cake syrupy stuff, and she could carry hers, and I'd carry the other one, and would be all good. Which is like instinctively, I like leaned over to help her, and I dumped spaghetti down her back. I
and not
smushed
just one plate, two plates.
Spaghetti down her back. Smushed it against my chest so it like leaked all the way through to my bra. I had spaghetti sauce
That's
on
a
my
good
bra.
reality check.
Yes.
And what I mean by reality check is just something that's not all... I love it.
And it got on my shoe. Yes. I was trying to have like that perfect mom weekend, and instead I spilled spaghetti all over the place. The Girl Scout
staff
is
a perfect mom weekend because that's an actual mom.
I guess so.
Experience.
I was so embarrassed, but they were super nice about it, and they helped clean it up, and it was like no big deal or whatever. But I was, this is what I get for trying to do everything instead of making multiple trips. Yeah. So Madeline's first camping trip, spilled spaghetti on her.
And now she has a story for life.
That's right. But it was fun. It was a good weekend. Just the two of us.
And she looks so happy and so tired.
And so tired, exhausted.
Yes.
So how about you? What's your reality weekend? Can you top
reality
spaghetti
check?
on your child?
I cannot top spaghetti on my child. I'm trying to think. I planted my flowers, finally. I mean, that's nothing
that's
dramatic.
No, come on.
But
can you compete with General Hospital? That's what you're trying.
I can't share my one that competes with General Hospital.
True.
Out of respect for.
Oh, right. Because it's not your story.
But there was something good. Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was the kids' first week of summer break. So trying to coordinate being a slightly home-based, working from home, and the kids being like, so what are we doing today? And I'm like, I'm working. What are you doing? Even though I'm here.
Right.
Like, I still have to get work done.
Right.
And if anyone else works from home, you probably know what I'm talking about. The people assume if you're home-based, even though you go out on appointments and meetings and lunches and things like that, you're still available at the drop of a hat. And it's annoying because I've even had people call me and they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, just working. And they're like, okay, so blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, would you call your friend that's sitting in an office and just disregard them saying I'm at work? But because you know that I'm at my desk in my game room, you just disregard that.
Right. So. Amanda doesn't do that too.
No, you don't. I think we're really good with it.
Yeah.
But we joke about the fact that we both get treated that way.
Oh,
so it's
100%.
That's why we don't do it to each other.
Right.
But yeah, so I guess summer vacation starting is my reality check for the week.
Awful reality.
But yeah, so I guess that's all that we have for this week.
Yeah. So have a good week.
And we'll meet you at the pier.
Thanks.
Bye. You want to say bye, Madeline?
Bye.
Bye.
If you enjoyed today's show, we invite you to subscribe and follow on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or whatever you listen to. Also, please give us a review. This helps us know what you like.
You can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And also, we're not perfect, so if there is something that we messed up or something that we missed, or if there's just something that you want to talk about, let us know by emailing us at peer54podcast@gmail.com.